In this video, we're going to be talking about BookingKoala. This video is just intended to be an account overview, and we're not going to be really doing any deep dives into any of the BookingKoala features on this video, but more so where our goal is to help you kind of understand the platform a little bit better so that you know where to navigate to find certain things and how to do some basic tasks. So let's jump right in. First and foremost, I am in a new test BookingKoala account here. We have some test data over on the right hand side. This is where you're going to see your providers. Provider, as you see right here and over here, is just another name for cleaners. BookingKoala uses providers because it kind of encompasses everything from employees to independent contractors. They are a cleaning provider at the end of the day. Right here we have a little unassigned booking here. This is called the unassigned folder, and this is where, if you're using the independent contractor model, you can have bookings come in to get taken or accepted by independent contractors. Again, navigating those boundaries so that you don't get hit with misclassification of employees is super important, and BookingKoala helps you do that. Alright, so these unassigned bookings show up as pink right here. Now let's not jump too far ahead. Let's go ahead and talk about this main view. So we're here on the dashboard, and specifically the calendar view, but you can switch between listing and map view if you prefer. You can also switch between them over here on the top right. We have list view, calendar view, which is what we're currently on, and then the map view over here. You can switch between a month view, week view, and day view just by clicking on these options here. Now I like staying on the month view, and I like this being over on the side. However, you can change these settings as well if you'd like. Okay, so again, the calendar view just helps me see from a high-level perspective how many bookings are coming up on what day, so I can kind of see overbookings, maybe some gaps, bookings coming up really close that don't have a provider yet assigned to them, so that maybe I know that we can try to send messages out to the team to go ahead and pick these up, or potentially message these customers to try to push them further in the week to give us more time to pair them with a provider. So that's pretty much the home screen here. Let's start to dive in a little bit more to the left-hand menu. And so before we do that though, let me just quickly mention up here in the top right, these are your profile settings. If you need to update your information or update your billing, you can easily do so right here. The next one down is bookings. This one's kind of cool. We don't use it a whole lot, but there are a couple of options here that can be useful. For example, you can go straight to all unassigned bookings instead of just seeing the month view on the calendar dashboard view. You can see all unassigned bookings here. You can also scroll down and see any cancellations, job history. The one that we use the most is probably booking charges and then the draft and quotes. If we send a quote to a customer who's not quite ready to book, they need to talk it over with the husband or whatever the case may be, we save it as a quote, we send it to them. Now they have the ability to book it on their own from their end, but sometimes they'll call us back and say, hey, decided to move forward with it. What do we need to do next? Great, just need to gather some card details from you and confirm your booking information one more time, and then we can get this booked instead of starting from scratch and asking for the zip code, the address, the email, the type of cleaning, any extras, anything like that. You can just go right here, see that quote, pull it up, put in the card details, and book it. And again, let's talk about booking charges just a little bit more here. This is where you're going to come in and you can see all pending charges, all charges, card holds and declines. This is the card hold section here, and then this would be the decline section. Sometimes cards will get declined, especially when getting put on hold, and so this is where you can come to manage that, update those card details, try to run them again, things like that. All right, pending charges. This kind of goes hand in hand with the holds. These pending charges are card holds, in fact, and BookingKoala is fantastic because it allows us to put holds on cards. This is just securing those funds in advance. It's not charging the card, but it's securing those funds in advance so that you know that if your cleaners show up, perform the work, that you're going to be able to get paid and you're going to be able to pay them for their hard work. Other software does not do this. I know for a fact, like Jobber doesn't do this, and there's some other service software out there that will not pre-charge the cards. So BookingKoala is great because it does that. It's just like some extra security, extra assurance that we're going to get paid if we show up and do this job. And then it will be charged after the cleaning is complete. If we set up the BookingKoala account for you, we set it up by default to put a hold on the card 5 days in advance, so 5 days before the booking takes place. And the reason that we do that is it gives us a little bit of time in case that hold does not go through. In case it gets declined, the customer has now time to go ahead and update their card information, put a new card on there or whatever, put in the correct number if they mistyped it or misspoke. And it also, if they're not able to do that, gives us time as a cleaning company to go ahead and fill that gap with another cleaning, someone who is ready to pay and has good payment details. So anyways, card holds are awesome. Over here in the bookings, booking charges, this is kind of where you can manage that. Don't really use this other stuff a whole lot. So let's go ahead and talk about leads. Again, this is another tab that we really don't use, but it's here if you want. If you have this system integrated with MailChimp, I believe, and you use the 2-step form, you can put the email on the first step, gather those customer emails on that first step of the form. So when they click find available dates to go to the second step of that form, you have now captured that email. And if they do not convert into a customer, you have the email and you can remarket to them later. Customers, very similar. You can add new customers manually. If they book right on your form, or if you book them right here, your office does, they will automatically get added as a customer. But if you're coming over to BookingKoala from another service software like House Call Pros, InMaid, Brilliant, Jobber, something like that, you can oftentimes download a CSV file, come in here to customers, and then you can import that list here. Now, it most likely won't bring over any sort of like credit card information, so you'll have to reach out to those customers and gather that separate, but you can at least get first name, last name, email, phone number, service address, things like that. The next one down is providers. As I mentioned earlier, providers is just another word for cleaners. We refer to cleaners as providers in the BookingKoala system, and this is where you can add new providers, see current providers, pay providers. Now you have to have a Stripe payment account set up for this, not just a regular Stripe account. You have to set up a separate payment account to pay out to providers if you want to do it that way. We typically have our contractors, for example, invoice us separately, so then we pay them that way. So we don't really use this feature. And if you're running with the employee model instead of contractors, I would advise you maybe to not think about or not use this to pay your employees. It just doesn't have the same capabilities that a payroll software like Gusto has, where it will automatically do the withholdings and then remit that to the state for you on time. BookingKoala doesn't have that capability, but regardless, if you want to use that, it's here for you. Now, going to add a new provider is very simple. You can add a team or individuals. You can add individuals that then become team members later. Now, currently at the time of this video, you can add up to 15 providers for only $57 a month. Anything more than that, you're going to jump up in the next pricing tier, which I believe is just under $200 a month. So keep that in mind when you're adding individuals. All right, so that is providers. If you need to deactivate providers, you can do so right here from the providers tab. Find the provider that needs to be deactivated if they're no longer working with you for whatever reason, and then they will then move to the deactivated list. If you need to reactivate, you should be able to reactivate here in the system. Again, there's no deactivated provider, so we really don't have anything to show you here. Regardless, if you go to add them again, it will say that the email is already in existence, and if you can't reactivate them, you'll need to go to the deactivate list, delete them, and then you can add them again. The next tab down is hiring. Now this one's pretty cool. We don't use this. We use the CleanCore system at cleancore.io to manage this for us. We have an automated recruiting system set up with funnels and landing pages pre-built, as well as pre-qualification surveys, making sure that they have the experience that we're looking for, and we can filter out a lot of non-serious candidates right there through the CleanCore process. And then afterwards, we even have the onboarding already set up. So we get them to go get their EIN number, sign the W-9 form, independent contract agreement, non-solicitation agreement. We collect their general liability insurance. So we really, again, don't need this because we use CleanCore. But if you don't have CleanCore and you're not interested in using that as your CRM and automation software, then you can check this out in further detail. Again, I'm not going to go into any detail here. 1, because we don't use it. 2, because this is just an overview video, but it looks pretty cool. You can add those contracts here. You can probably do interviews. I'm guessing this may have some sort of a calendar functionality built in, and then it looks like you can maybe customize some onboarding. So feel free to watch the videos here to learn more about that, but let's go back to admin and let's keep trucking along. All right, so now we're on the marketing tab. We don't use this one a whole lot either. A couple cool things that I do want to point out here are the gift cards. So we can set up our gift card features and grab that embed code to place on our website. So now customers and potential customers and family members of future customers can go on and purchase gift cards for loved ones, family members, neighbors, anything like that, and it's really cool. Now, we don't really use this a lot. We don't have a lot of people go on our website to buy gift cards, even though we tell them about it up at the top of our website and in the footer. So they don't really use this a lot, but regardless, why not put it on your website anyway? What we do use from time to time are coupons. Now, this system's really great because it allows you to set up coupons. You can add new coupons here, name it, put in a specific code. So for example, if you're using Yelp and you want to direct Yelp customers, you can, it's a paid Yelp feature, but you can put in a coupon code here just for Yelp users. If you're running Facebook ads or Google ads and you're doing a special promotion, this is great because then you can put in a coupon code here and you can adjust the details down here. So what type of a discount is this? Is it $1? Is it a percentage discount? What are the limitations? Is there an end date, a max usage? Only single use per one user so that the same user can't go do it multiple times and book 10 cleanings with you and get the same deal. An order maximum. And so there's just a lot of really cool settings that you can do here for that coupon, add it, utilize it, so on and so forth. We don't really do too much else in here. You can see ratings. BookingKoala does have an internal rating system that we kind of set up with Zapier and with CleanCore as well. So it kind of helps shield us from bad reviews. BookingKoala will ask the customer how their experience was, and they can rate those providers actually. And so we set up an automation to where if they rate the providers 4 stars and up, then we ask for a Google review or a Yelp review or something like that. If it's less than that, it just stays here in BookingKoala and does not go to your public profiles. Pretty cool feature. That's the marketing tab. Let's talk a little bit about reports. Again, one other thing that we really don't visit too often, regardless, it's here for you if you like. You can see revenue reports, booking reports, payments, referrals, and more. Up here is kind of cool under the revenue because it'll kind of give you a quick glance what's your weekly look like, bi-weekly, monthly, and one-time cleanings, how many tips you're generating through BookingKoala. So it's kind of cool to see this information. Other than that, we don't use this a whole lot, but it's here if you want. Logs, system logs, what's going on in your BookingKoala account, what are your staff members doing on a day-to-day basis. If you'd like to kind of see that, view that, if something happens and you need to go back and trace it back, this is sometimes helpful for that. Email logs, if customers are saying, I didn't receive any email or I didn't receive an invite email from a provider, anything like that, maybe it's a good idea to go into the email logs and just see if those are getting delivered or not. Let's go into the settings. This is a lot of where the magic happens. So this is very, very, oh gosh, I could spend another hour just talking about all of the settings here, so I'm not going to do that. But starting up here at the top, your account settings, this is where you can update your info, similar to right up here up at the top. But this is where you can update that, update your billing. Now, if we build out your BookingKoala account for you, the first thing that you're going to need to do is come in here and update your billing. We have a card that we put on here, but that card will not go through. It will not work. So you won't be able to access your account after the free trial ends if you don't come in here and update your billing. But regardless, if you ever need to change cards or billing details, this is where you'll do that. Same thing with subscription plans. Let's talk a little bit about the general tab here under the settings. This is pretty extensive. Again, all the way at the bottom, we have apps and integrations, which we'll talk about here in a second. Undelivered emails, going back to making sure that those emails are getting delivered. This is a quick tab to show you every email that has not been delivered. All right. Checklists, taxes, store options. Now there's a lot under store options. So if we click on that, you'll see that we have general, customer options, provider options, admin, and scheduling options. And each one of these has a list within. So you can see this can take quite some time, and if that didn't scare you enough, you can click on these and they expand. This is where you add logo, other business information, things of that nature. And BookingKoala really allows you to dial in very deep and customize a lot of the settings, most of the settings in your account. You will not find near this much detail and customization in other service softwares for the cleaning industry. Each one of these expands, some are shorter than others, and then each one of these is specific to this category. So now we can adjust the general settings for our customers, bookings. So certain things like give the customer the option to see which provider is assigned to the booking. No, I don't want them to be able to pick between Michelle, Dave, or Carrie. I just want to be able to have them accept the cleaning, and I don't want my customers to be able to pick a specific cleaner, because then they're going to start looking at the ratings and reviews, and they're going to all pick one over the other, and it can kind of get messy. Regardless, if that is your model, then this is where you would adjust those settings. You can show stars only 4 or higher, 3.5 or higher. BookingKoala does go on a half scale rating. And so I'm not going to go through all of these. Again, the video would probably stretch on for hours, so we're not going to do that. My voice would be out by the end of the video. So feel free to go through these on your own and just spend some time going over them and becoming familiar with them, because later on, if you need to adjust something, one, you're going to know if it's possible, and two, you're going to know exactly where to go and change that. Some common ones that we use are over here in the general settings for providers, bookings, and then you can really determine whether or not you want to utilize your BookingKoala system primarily for contractors or employees. And then furthermore, you can scroll down and decide whether or not you want to pay them on a percentage basis or an hourly basis or a fixed basis. And this is great because when you bring on providers, they'll automatically be added as contractors starting at 50% pay, and it'll show them upfront what their pay is going to be as long as you enable those settings right down here. And it's great because the providers will then see their pay. They'll either grab the job or not, and then it splits it out for them. So when they invoice you later, they know exactly what to invoice you for. BookingKoala splits out the percentage from the base pay and then adds the tips in separately, really saving you and your team a lot of time on the office side of things, making sure that these invoices are accurate every week. BookingKoala does the work for us. All right, so again, I'm not going to go through all of these tabs. Just spend some time here. I recommend spending some time here and going through all of these options. Now, I can go over the settings and go over the general apps and integrations, but really the thing that I want to show you there is this right here. So we can show you under the general admin settings that this is where you can set up your payment processor. So there's 3 options here: Stripe, Square, and PayPal. We use and recommend Stripe. However, if you're already set up with Square, feel free to set that up too. Square is another good option. So to set this up, you just enable it. It comes by default enabled, and we're going to click on Stripe. If this is disabled, by the way, go ahead and flip it to enabled. But we're going to click on Stripe, and then we can place in our publish key and our secret key. This is easily found in your Stripe account once you set that up. Once you're done, click Save, and now you can accept payments from customers on your BookingKoala form in your BookingKoala account. If you don't set this up, you guessed it, you can't accept payments from customers unless it's cash or check, and nobody likes doing those still. So anyways, this is where you'll set that up. And I mentioned at the beginning of this video that you'll have to set up a separate payout or payment account from Stripe, and this is where you would enable that and set that up. Once you have that built in Stripe, you would set that up and then add in the details here. Alright, so we just went over general store options, and apps and integrations. There's really nothing else that I want to go over here other than the BookingKoala for Providers app. So when you invite a provider, again, we go up here to providers and add new to send invites to new people joining our team as an employee or as an independent contractor. They will get an automatic invite to download the app, but you can also tell them to go to the App Store and search for the BookingKoala for Providers app. I believe currently it has a little koala on it and it's blue, but tell them to go there and search that, or just search BookingKoala and it should show up. Another thing I guess I'll mention here is Twilio. So if I click here, this is going to pull up our Twilio settings. And Twilio is just a SMS and phone provider. So you can go in there and get a tracking number through Twilio, add your SID key or auth token, authentication token, and API key here, and then add that phone number. So you can get a native phone number through Twilio, whether, my area is Colorado, so that would be like a 970. So you can get a native area code and then put in your API and authentication token settings here, and you can actually send out SMS reminders and SMS notifications from BookingKoala. Now, I will mention that if you have a CleanCore account with us at cleancore.io, then you automatically get a Twilio sub-account whenever you sign up. And as long as you go ahead and just purchase the tracking number in there, whatever one you want, we will actually come in here and do this for you, or we will give you the credentials to go ahead and add this to your BookingKoala account so that you don't have to worry about setting up a separate Twilio account and where to find this information and how to set it up on your own. It's automatically added through CleanCore. Another benefit of having it in CleanCore is this. These automated text notifications going out from BookingKoala are just one way. So they're going out, your customers are getting notified that their cleaning is coming up, but if they respond to that text, you won't be notified. It's not a two-way platform as at the time of this video. So what happens, you won't know when those messages come back. So if they say, hey, thanks for the reminder, I need to tack on an oven cleaning, can we make that happen? You won't know. You're leaving money on the table. Or if they say, hey, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, such and such is in the hospital, we were not going to be able to do this cleaning, can we please reschedule? You won't get that notification either if they text back to your notifications and reminders number here. And so having the CleanCore account, it has two-way capabilities. So we'll get our number in CleanCore. It runs through Twilio. We'll be able to add those settings here. The reminders will come out from BookingKoala, but you guessed it, if they text back to that number, they'll come back into CleanCore in the Conversations tab so that you can communicate with them there. So pretty cool little feature. If you're interested in getting signed up for CleanCore, I'll leave the link in the description below the video. Let's keep moving on along. We are almost done. We have gone over general store options and the account options here as well. We're not going to really go over that. You can put in a Google Translate key here if you'd like. The next one down is the design, forms, and website. So this is pretty cool because there's a couple things in here I want to talk about. First and foremost is your website builder and themes. Now, BookingKoala does have the ability for you to create a website on the platform. We don't do that. We use a separate provider CMS platform for that. But regardless, if you want to get up and running quickly with a website, you can do that on BookingKoala. Regardless, we do go here and actually build and design our booking forms. So I'm going to have future videos on that, especially in the 7-Figure Student Resource Library. If you're a part of the 7-Figure Cleaners program, you'll get a lot of videos on that. But anyways, you can customize your booking form if you're not using their website or if you are using their website. And that's really cool because once you customize the booking form, you can grab the embed code, which I'll show you here in just a sec. Hover over that, you can see embed forms right down here at the bottom. Once you're done designing your booking form to look like your website, you can change the colors of all the buttons, you can change the text on there, you can change all of the things that you need to change. You can come in here, grab this embed code, and go and plop it on your website, and now you have a professional booking form on your website that customers can see, get instantaneous quotes from, and even book right online without utilizing any of your time or your office time. Pretty cool, right? This is also where you'll grab the embed code for login on your website, for the sign up form on your website, gift card, which we talked about earlier, and then even some other stuff if you'd like here. One thing I'll mention about the design of your booking form is you're going to definitely want to come in there, and even if you don't care about designing the custom icons or colors of the buttons or the layout or anything like that, you're definitely going to want to get rid of the placeholder text that comes stock on all BookingKoala accounts. That's unprofessional. If you keep it on there, your customers are going to see that and they're going to laugh. So make sure that you take that stuff off before going live with this. And again, you can do that by coming in here to design, forms, and website builder and themes. And then you'll come in here, customize theme, navigate to the book now page, and there's your booking form. All right, the next one down is industries. If we are setting up the BookingKoala account for you, then we get you set up with the home cleaning industry, and that's the one that we will set you up with. And you can see it's using form 1 in BookingKoala, and we can come in and update the frequencies like one time, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, the categories like standard clean, deep clean, move in, move out clean, the pricing parameters. Do we price by bedroom, bathroom, square footage, one or the other, a combination of all three? Any extras, inside oven, inside cabinets, baseboards, inside fridge, things like that. And then any sort of custom sections. This is where we'll come in and update that. And this is only pertaining to this booking form here under the home cleaning industry. As you can see right here, we can add or delete new industries for no extra charge in BookingKoala. Awesome feature here. You can see we have the home cleaning industry already set up, but BookingKoala has some pre-built industries for you for like commercial office cleaning, post-construction, carpet, pool cleaning, and then a lot of other industries that you may or may not have known that BookingKoala also is great for. So pretty cool there. Let's go back to the settings. Industries, I think that pretty much concludes the industry section here. So let's go ahead and move that back up. The next tab down is staff. Similar to providers, cleaners, you can add staff members. So don't add your cleaners as staff members. I've accidentally made that mistake before, and don't add your staff members as providers. This is for your VA, your virtual assistant, or your office administrator, office manager, business partner, co-owner, anyone who needs access to the desktop platform here and access to maybe add providers in the future, take on bookings from customers, and things like that. So to add a staff member, same thing as providers, you hover over it, add staff members here, and then you can, once you add them, you can go back and click on them and then adjust their permissions. So obviously this is a brand new test account, so we actually don't have any staff members added, but let's just say that we did. Once I click on one, you'll see a bar up here at the top where you can click on permissions and adjust all of their permissions, what they can and cannot see and do in your BookingKoala account. You'll just move all of the dots over to the right if you want to give them admin permissions. All right, we're almost done here. Booking spots is the next thing I want to talk about. So let's go ahead and go over to maximum settings. This is where you can adjust the settings from your BookingKoala account. You can disable certain days if you don't want anything booked on those days. You can enable them if you do, just like so. And then you can adjust the days. You can do specific times like this, or you can do time slots. So all you have to do is click edit, change this to arrival window, and you'll notice that now we have an end time. So we can say from 8 to 11, and then from 11 to 3, and we can only book 20 during this slot or 3 during this slot. And I actually did that here, so if I expand Monday, you'll see this is what it'll look like. 8 to 11 and 11 to 3, 20 bookings for each, and I apply that to the rest of the days here that were open. So this is great too if you don't want to have specific times that customers can book. If you want to have arrival windows like this to make your life a little bit easier, this is where you'll do that. Settings, booking spots, max settings. You can also put holidays in here to make sure that nothing gets booked on holidays. The last thing here is notifications. So let's go ahead and go to notifications, general. And this is where you can adjust settings like the sender email address right here. What email are your customers going to see where they get automated email notifications from for things like new bookings, canceled bookings, card decline, things like that. Maybe you have a Gmail on here and you want to change it to your professional business email like myname@mycleaningcompany.com. This is where you're going to come change that. So go ahead and put in the new sender email address in here. You'll see a button pop up over here that says resend email verification. You'll click that. You'll get an email sent to the new email here, and it's going to have a really long piece of really long link on there. Click on that link and it should say congratulations or successful or something along those lines from Amazon Web Service, and then you'll be good to go. Now your new sender email address is verified and ready to start sending emails. You can change the display name, whether this is going to be your company name or your specific name or whatever. Admin email, and then the customer reply to email. Most of the time this is going to be the same thing, but if you want to have a custom email to the customers will reply to for organization purposes, this is where you'll change that. Click save and you're good to go. This is also where you can adjust SMS settings. We kind of already touched on this earlier, so we're not going to go over it again. Back to notifications, you can also adjust the email, SMS, and app notifications that your providers and staff members and customers will see. So let's click on SMS just as an example. You can see this is SMS notifications for admin, customers, and providers. So let's click on customers. You can enable or disable SMS notifications here. I like to keep them enabled, especially for things like new bookings coming up, canceled, reminders. Hey, your cleaning is tomorrow. Don't forget to make sure your house is picked up and ready for the cleaners. Card declines right here. So, if the card gets declined, we want them to know immediately so that they can take the initiative and go update it on their own. But maybe clocking in and out. Maybe we want the on the way feature, but we don't want the reached location text going out because we don't want to badge them with notifications. We just want to let them know, since we're doing an arrival window between 8 and 11 or 11 to 3, that the cleaners are on their way. This is where we would enable that. And furthermore, you can actually edit these. So you can see there's a couple custom values in here that you can change. Hi, Sarah, your provider, Michelle, is on the way to your location and will reach you shortly. Thanks for booking with Caribou Cleaning. Okay, great. So you can adjust this if you'd like, and then you can view the shortcodes here, which is the custom values, if you need to. Some people like to adjust these, especially like we adjusted like the 48-hour one. Hey, your booking is in 2 days, or the 24-hour one. Hey, your booking is tomorrow. So things like that. You can adjust those here, save them. You can even send a test yourself just to see what it would look like on the customer side. So that's notifications, and that's pretty much everything I want to cover over here. If there's something that I didn't cover, just go ahead and click into it and see. You can learn more about it. So it's definitely going to want to spend some time here in the settings, especially in the general and store options component of it. And you're probably definitely going to want to spend some time in the industries, your pertaining industry here, hover over it, and in the pricing parameters. This can get pretty confusing, but essentially this is where you're going to set up your pricing parameters, how much you charge and how long it takes for bedrooms, bathrooms, where they're going to show. Do they show as a specific pricing for just standard cleans, deep cleans, move out cleans, and more? This is where it gets very complex. All right. And so I might create more videos on how to do this in the future, or maybe like a little mini course on how we set up our pricing parameters for us and for our students in the 7-Figure Cleaners program. But regardless, this is a very confusing part. Spend some time here to make sure that you understand it. I would say that it's pretty straightforward, but it's not. This can get very, very complex very quickly. So, all right, that's all I have for you for this video. The last thing, and I don't think I'm going to cover on this video, is how to add bookings and how I would go about taking a phone call from a real customer or potential customer and going through the booking form. But the one thing I will say on this video is when a customer calls in and says, I'd like a quote for a cleaning, for a deep clean or whatever, first thing you're going to do is go to add booking and then start taking information. And then this is where you'll see real-time prices, booking summaries, and then at the bottom, once you connect to your payment processor, you can even take card payments and either save it as a quote or save it as a booking. There's a lot here. It's probably a whole nother video in and of itself just because of all the cool different things that you can do here. So, but I just want to show you this is where the magic happens. Once you have everything set up in your account and you're ready to go live and ready to start taking bookings from customers, this is where you'll do it. So that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some value in it and that this helps you get kickstarted with your new BookingKoala account. Again, I'll leave links in the description below the video on where to get started with BookingKoala if you don't already have your account set up, as well as some other useful resources. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.